You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV Saturday Night Live After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's SNL After Show.
That looks nice. Where'd you get it from?
Right into it.
Good old.
Oh, you a H&M shopping ass ninja. You a H&M shopping ass ninja.
He's like, no lyrics.
You a H&M.
Oh, they screwed it too. They screwed it a little bit.
Playing when I shop. This is great.
Just make that your ringtone when you walk through. Just have it going every time, you know? Yeah, there you go.
That's great.
What's up, guys? This is the AfterBuzz Show for Saturday Night Live. I'm your host, Roya Taheri.
Roya, I feel like we should just give you a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Roya brought in.
She's an H&M shopping ass ninja.
On top
I'm
of
wearing
that,
H&M.
and she's a round of applause. And you brought in free food for us. We just want to say thanks. All the way from San Diego.
Of course.
Nice.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, guys, joining me, Danny over here. Danny's back in his Christmas sweater a week late, but he's got his Christmas sweater.
The memo last week is to wear a Christmas sweater, so I wore it this week. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a reindeer with glasses. My mom bought this for me, so thanks, Mom.
You're
awesome.
a Christmas ass ninja.
Yes, I am.
Christmas
Thank you, Mom.
Catchy song, man.
Hey.
And then join with us, Keaton is out, so Stephaune is filling in
the building. Danny told me to wear an ugly sweater. I didn't have one, so
Bro, you look good.
I rated my girl. This is my girlfriend's actually.
You're a feeling
So you're saying it's ugly?
Feeling ass ninja.
I told her that.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard her feelings before I left. I'm sorry,
Well, Stephane's
Marissa.
girlfriend,
I love
it's not ugly. Don't worry. It's
Look,
not,
I know
but-
Stephane's girlfriend, and I bet you it looks good on her, but bro, I'm going to tell you, that looks good on you. You know?
you. I couldn't believe I fit it. That's terrible.
And before we get to our guest, can we? I said I was going to say thank you last week, and I missed it the last 2 weeks. So to our producers back there, Marissa, Steven, and Phil, can we give them a quick round of applause? Because I forgot to thank you guys last week, so thank you.
Boring.
Producing ass ninjas.
Producing ass
ninjas.
And this amazing singer over on our left, the rapper. Really bad intro.
I just
I'm so
called
sorry.
Wallace.
No one heard that. You just totally brought it up on
Looks
your own.
like
You know?
whale to me.
Whale to me.
What else is
Jobrani,
whale
right?
saying, really? Jobrani.
Jabroni.
So,
Jobrani, yeah.
comedian, actor, Maz
Yes.
Jobrani.
And part-time
Acting
rapper.
ass ninja. I'm an acting ass ninja. Comedian ass comedian. Comedian doesn't work.
That don't work, right?
Funny ass.
Funny syllables.
I like funny.
Ninja.
Yes, there it is. That's your new opening monologue routine right there.
That's right. Just sit there for hours, just saying
Instead of
whatever
just-
someone throws out. What do you do for a living? He's a Dr. Raz, Dr. Ass Ninja.
There you go. Just like
I
that.
love it. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
We're doing good. I'm a little warm. I left my wallet in the street, so right before we started, I had to run. So I'm trying. I literally ran because my wallet was in the street.
They searched
you know,
me when I got here too. That was
Sherman
kind of
Oaks, it's
embarrassing.
How did it
I didn't
end up
like
in the
that.
street? You just
I
throw
don't-
out your wallet once in a while?
Yeah, I was shopping, and then I came here, and it fell out of my.
Ass
Anyways,
Ninja. Well,
I'm great. Other than that,
the sweatshirt's great, but you might want to take that off to cool down, my friend.
you know what? Under here,
Danny.
I'm all about the animals. I got a panda.
Whoa!
What? Panda.
But it's not about the panda. It's about the reindeer. It's the wrong season. So
Yeah,
I'm all
yeah.
about you reindeers. I wore this last night to a bunch of parties, so I'm recycling this.
In China, it's panda season for Christmas. They
that's
have
right.
they have pandas that fly Santa Claus. Did you
Look,
know
all
that?
right, if I'm being honest then, this is
Yes.
representing for my Chinese friends watching in China.
There
So
you go.
There you
guys,
go.
I got your back.
Oh, you got two things going. That's awesome. That's great.
We're excited to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, man. This is cool. This is a cool setup. You guys got a lot of cameras. You got a lot of.
Yeah. Did you see the one in the bathroom?
They got one in the bathroom too. Fantastic.
He's not supposed to see that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you
I'm sorry.
guys like when they set up the studio? Was it like was Best Buy having a sale or something? Did you have all of these cameras?
Black and yellow and the cameras, the TVs.
Circuit City wish they were around then
Yeah.
for that. So
They
we
missed
help
out.
them out. Yeah, but Hey, let's just jump right into this
Jump right
episode,
into
though,
it.
guys.
Jump
It was
into the
great. John
episode.
Goodman was the host, musical guest, Kings of Leon.
13th time he's hosted.
Yes,
13.
and okay, I gotta clarify something. Someone corrected me on YouTube. I
saw
believe his
that.
name was Randall Williams. I want to say thank you for correcting me. You were very polite about it, so thank you. I had said that he was tied with Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin. I read wrong information at 3 in the morning. No, duly noted not to do that again.
Is he now the lead? Who's
No,
in the
he's
lead?
not. He's just this is his 13th time. Then it goes to Steve Martin, and then Alec Baldwin pulled away for the lead.
How many is Alec Baldwin?
I think
done?
he's at. I wrote down the number on the wrong
15?
notebook. I think 15.
Yeah,
Wow.
God,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
He's on there. Yeah, he's definitely taking the lead.
And he's relatively young, so he's probably got you know
Yeah.
good 4 or 5 more.
yeah, and he's
Oh,
got a
yeah,
bunch more
easy,
too. If you
easy.
include him just appearing, you know what I mean? Not
No,
hosting,
we don't
but
include.
But hosting, I think. Yeah,
hosting.
Yeah.
don't take that away from me. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's like giving them credit for a home run when they hit like a base hit. You know what I'm saying? You're giving
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
We're talking
yeah.
average versus home runs.
Hey man, I tried really hard in Little League. Okay,
I'm just telling you.
I played Little League, right? Softball, does that count?
That counts.
Yeah.
Again, now we're talking about on base versus home runs. You didn't finish it
Whatever.
out.
A hit's a hit. Okay.
All right.
But-
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Cold open. Let's start with that
Okay.
first of all, because I have some things I want to say about his opening monologue.
The Obama cold open, Keenan, I have a thing kind of against Keenan on the show. He never does it for me, but
really?
he took it this one. He owned this sketch.
You're giving Keenan
I
props.
loved it. The entire sketch, the entire episode, I gave him props.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
This is improvement for you. I love it.
He was silly. He was great. I wanted more, and they brought him back for more, and I loved it.
I agree with you. I think Keenan. Here's the thing. It's like people don't realize it takes years to kind of find your place on SNL.
Yeah.
You're coming in from like somewhere like Groundlings or some Second City where you were the man or the woman or whatever, and you come in and it's hard to get spots. It's hard to get people to write for you. And Keenan's been on the show for what, 10 years, 12 years, a long time.
Long time, yeah.
And he is that whole episode is very likable. He's kind of smiling when he does it.
Yeah.
But he just has fun with it. Every character he did, he was having fun with. So you're right. I totally agree
Yeah.
with you. He
I
nailed
feel
it.
bad for anybody not named Keenan or Kate on this show because it was Keenan, Kate, and John Goodman like the whole show.
Well, there was moments, you know, like
There
I
was
mean,
moments.
look,
Nassim had her moments,
Well, that's
yeah.
exactly like as an Iranian American, I got my eye on Nassim. I'm watching what's going on with that girl.
She's
Don't
great.
Don't have to put
I'm
in a
right there
call.
with you. I'm right
put in
there
a call
with
to
you.
Lauren and be like, "Yo, player, what's up?"
Listen, man.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in the Iranian NAACP on your ass. No, she actually. I was just telling Roya. I don't know if you guys paid attention, but the character she did was very funny. The class where she kept
Yeah.
going like, the
I love it.
The fireman sketch. Was it just me, or did it seem like she was channeling Aziz Ansari for the character?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Which I thought was if that's what she did, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like a female Aziz Ansari.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, she's great, and they've used that before. They brought this back. They used that same sketch with Ed Norton. She was in the same role, so she reprised this role.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna start doing it because she steals it. It's her
yeah.
sketch.
But was it good? You know, because I've done sketch comedy. Anyone who does sketch will tell you it's really hard to write a funny sketch where everyone gets a funny line. You know,
Yeah.
and even like everyone in that sketch, like Bobby, what's his name?
Moynihan.
He had a funny line in the middle where I forget what it was. He's like, "Do your job,
Do your job.
fireman."
Yeah.
That was funny, man. Yeah.
No, that was a good. I enjoyed it.
Well, back to
Definitely.
let's go through this cold open. They hit on 3 issues. They hit on the fake interpreter, the selfie that Obama took with that.
Right.
Was it the Russian lady or like the
Danish.
Danish.
Dan-
It was something with a D. I was gonna say Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first place my mind went. What was the third one?
Well,
There was a-
Danish is Denmark.
And then they brought back the.
I was
Yeah.
just making sure you're paying attention.
Correction.
Yeah, yeah.
Look,
Just telling
I'm a
you.
geography ass ninja.
Keep him on his
right?
toes.
Just here to watch.
Yeah. What was the third one? They had
The
the
third thing
Danish.
they hit on was the
The
Cuban
handshake.
The handshake.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the handshake with Raul Castro.
Hilarious. He said, "I thought he was Edward James Olmos." I was
That's funny. That's funny.
Jay Farrell. He's
So
good.
what I think they should have done, because first of all, I knew like when this first happened, for anyone who hasn't been paying attention, it was the Mandela Memorial, and they had a guy who was interpreting, the
Fake sign language.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I watched. I go, SNL's going to do something. They have to. Do
Of
something.
course.
What was interesting though was they brought, because he first comes out and as Obama announces it all, right? Then he has the interpreter show up, and that's very funny.
Yeah.
But then it was what kind of, for me, sketch wise, kind of seemed to not kind of fall into place was then you have the German chancellor show up. She could have just as well as played the Danish
Right,
prime minister.
And done an actual selfie.
No one would have known, right? She could have done something off of that. And then you should have had Edward James Olmos show up at the end.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I'm saying? He could have done a little guest appearance, just showing up. And he'd be like, hey, Raul Castro, you know, or something.
Right.
And then, you know, that's what I was waiting for.
That would have been a home run.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It said it was like a triple. I feel like it was a good triple. I liked that Keenan got a little sensual with some of his stuff, like he was doing this. That for me made it funnier because how funny can you get with interpreting? This is funny, and you know he's doing little things. But when he started getting sensual with it, that's when I started giggling.
Well, also interpretations have always. I mean, it isn't. It's almost like it's not that it's hack. It's almost been done a lot. So you got to kind of have fun with it, which is what they did. Like one of the original interpretations, which was. Now I'm getting historical on your ass, but it was Chevy Chase doing the Weekend Update, and Garrett Morris was he was doing the interpretation for the deaf people, so I don't know if you remember this, but Chevy Chase is like, our top story tonight, and then Garrett Morris pops up, he's like, our top story tonight. He's yelling it basically. So I mean, from that to this, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know, it's cool. It's evolved.
That's good.
Cool.
That's good.
That's funny.
And then I like the Michael Jackson part. I wrote
thriller,
that down.
yeah.
He's like, we're thrilled with the results. And he started
doing the thriller.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite other thing that Keenan did. So
and anyone who can do that neck thing. Can you do that neck thing? You got that in you?
This move? I'm probably
No.
not. I have really bad.
I ain't got it either.
Oh, Steven's got it.
There you go.
Oh. Did you put the camera on yourself when you did that?
I did not.
What's the point?
what are you doing back there?
He just wants to show off that he can do it. But I liked how they did bring back Kate McKinnon, like the German. She was on a Weekend Update before, the German chancellor.
So good at that
She played
character.
her when the first tweeting when they were spying on her phone.
Oh, I see.
So they did like a little bit during Weekend Update. So I kind of liked how they brought her back and reused that character and just. She's like, you kind of owe me after, wiretapping my phone.
They're kind of trying to make her in love with Obama. It's funny.
Yeah. I like
so she can come back, a bunch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool. It starts this little relationship.
That was the one thing that I wrote down that I was really excited that was kind of a way for them to create a character, like you were just saying, to bring her back anytime. Kind of like a Sarah Palin in a way.
By the way, little note between this whole analysis of the show. This seems like this could be the coolest class in college. Like you actually took notes on SNL.
I know, I did.
Watch SNL the night before, and then we're going to discuss it. Can you imagine? It's a cool class.
Crazy.
Yeah,
awesome. It probably is a class now.
I'll teach the class. I'll be that teacher.
If this was real school, there would be doodles all over my notepad.
Right.
It would be really bad stick figures, but it's actually, I'm doing, anyways.
I was in the age of technology, so I switched to laptops, and I can't read my handwriting. I can't read my own handwriting. Let's be honest. So
I tried to read.
Means you should have been a doctor.
That's right.
Maybe I am.
Yeah, there you go.
So for the cold open, what
I don't know where I was going with that.
But what grade would you give it? Like A through F?
The cold open?
Yeah, cold open.
It was for me. It was a funny political bit. It's usually political. We talked about that last week. I'm in the B family. I was probably C plus, B minus. That was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went A. I really like Jay Farrell. I love every time he does Obama. Everybody does. I think he's spot on. And Keenan was just hilarious. I went A. It kind of ended a little funny, so maybe A minus. But
ended
I
weak.
liked it.
Oh, you said, that's what you meant by funny. I thought you meant it ended like, ha, 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 funny. I'm like, it's a sketch.
Yeah, no, I wasn't laughing funny. I was like,
Strangely.
Yeah,
so what would you give it?
I'm in the B range as well.
Okay.
I thought they did some good jobs, but did a good job.
I gave it an A because usually with cold, I know. Oh, you're gonna be surprised. I'm usually a hard critique person.
She's like in the D's and C's. Usually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very picky. This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I'm excited for you. That means you were laughing.
I really was, and I felt really weird because it was in the middle of the night, and I was like, crap, no one's around. I chuckled just like that too, and that was really weird for me because it came out of nowhere. So let's move on to the monologue.
Listen, that jacket that John Goodman had on was fantastic. That was the first thing I wrote down. John Goodman's jacket. It was amazing. No.
Yeah?
That was
Cool
I
jacket.
just wanted to put that out. I love the jacket.
You put
Before
it,
he even
we're
opened his
taking
mouth,
it,
I was like, oh, that's a good jacket.
Well, we know you were shopping as Ninja, so
Listen,
you're looking at
he didn't
apparel.
get that at H&M, let's be honest. That's a good jacket.
It was the opening was kind of just short and sweet, but I liked it. I love the blues, the Blues Brothers type of thing that they brought back. You didn't like it?
I thought they were going there. I gave it a C. I was like, it wasn't funny. It was. It almost was like that. Who is it? Jim Belushi and the Blues Brothers.
Dan Aykroyd.
And Dan Aykroyd. It felt like it was going to start there.
Yeah.
It never got there. And then the song was, what was the song? It was called All I Want for Christmas is Some Booty.
Yeah,
Really?
Listen, it had potential. And here, I mean, you gotta again. It was. I thought it was like in that B range, in that it didn't go. You're right. It started going somewhere. Like if you look at like when Justin Timberlake was on, and they did Dick in a Box.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
So if that's
Classic.
the gift. So if you're going off of that, and if you're gonna compare it to the song that they wrote here, it felt like the song was going there, but it didn't quite. Like they even had a moment where they stopped and they're like, "Oh, we're talking about our wives," you know, like it kind of as opposed to kind of. As opposed to building on it,
sure.
You know, but I'm in the B range on that one.
I see that. I see I see your points. I see it. I gave it an A. Ugh.
Wow.
Maybe I
back-to-back A's. This is unprecedented for Roya.
I was just really. It was great. I don't know. I mean, it's his first time back since 2001, so it was kind of a nice way to see him, and he's lovable. He's freaking Sully from Monsters Inc. What could go wrong with that?
Well, you're talking about Christmas booty. Then lovable and Christmas booty.
Hey,
It just
Sully's got to get some booty too, okay?
Oh my goodness.
You know?
We're talking
I was
about
like,
a
John
cartoon
Goodman, don't
character?
start me off like this.
Did you just say a
painted
cartoon character has to get some booty?
I am so sorry. That was my phone. I apologize.
I thought that was Steven with the drop.
Me too.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
About a pirate?
I heard something about a pirate hooker.
So Anchorman's coming out on Wednesday. That was
Transition.
You are a smelly pirate hooker from Anchorman.
Okay, you
Yeah,
just
that's
get
my.
the mood, the Anchorman mood.
It's silence now. So sorry.
Shout out to Anchorman
Yes.
too.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Wait,
moving on.
we left at Sully getting some booty, just to clarify.
Well, before the booty, when they showed John Goodman coming out on the stage, I love their Christmas shots. I feel they do it every Christmas time when the host walks out. You see the Christmas tree, you see, and then the little side shot. Pay attention to it for next week because I guarantee they'll do that for Jimmy Fallon. Because I saw it during the Christmas SNL sketch that they had a ensemble of or whatever.
That's true. They do Christmas well.
Yeah, it was like Disneyland for me at Christmas time. It made me in the Christmas spirit.
All right.
The setting. That part.
right.
Hopefully I didn't just branch off, but
I'm
Give
excited
it A
about
for
the next.
cinematography.
Yes.
A for cinematography.
Yeah,
Look,
man.
I'm excited about the next sketch
Well-
because I read the Guy Fieri Full Throttle Christmas special. Okay, I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I gave this an A. It wasn't my favorite thing of the night, but I gave it an A because I loved it. And whenever I feel like SNL cast members and maybe just comedians in general, and you can answer this, when they get to do impressions, it's like they enjoy doing impressions, especially ones they can kind of.
Yeah, I think. Listen, for anyone, when you do a good impression, you go, "Oh, I mean, it's funny for anybody." You see it, you go, "That's funny." And the other thing that's good about what that was I think the videos are always more fun than. I mean, it's easier to score on a video than it is in live sketches because you can edit and you have all kinds of stuff happening, and then he just keeps adding all these different people. So and then Guy Fieri is a fun guy to make fun of, right?
Moynihan does a great Guy Fieri.
Yeah, he does.
I think he nailed it. I loved it all the way top to bottom. I loved the sketch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's video, but-
I loved. I had a double take on some of them. Like who was it? Chris Angel was Kyle Mooney.
Yeah.
It took me. I was like, whoa, wait a second. He looks kind of good like that.
I like
That's a
the
good
fire
look.
he did too really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm Chris Angel.
Yeah.
It's funny because when they mentioned Chris Angel as well as Kid Rock, I just kind of sat there. I was like, God, people are stupid. not because of the impressions, but just because that these people are well known. Like
Right.
Kid Rock. I was like, Kid Rock. Like what is that?
Although shout out to Brooks Wheelan did a good Kid Rock.
Yes,
He did.
Oh, he did. I'm talking about
no,
like
with
it just
you.
made me. It upset me.
As
that,
celebrity.
Like, I was like, what?
He
Yeah.
sells out stadiums.
What is that?
Stadiums.
Do you guys follow Brooks Wheelan on Instagram or SNL on Instagram at all?
I do.
They actually have, if there's a picture of Brooks Wheelan of his dressing room with Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett, they actually put underneath it Kid Rock as their little fourth honorary cast member. And they have a picture, like a little decal on his wall, too, and they sit in front of him. So I loved when he came out and he was Kid Rock. I thought that was a great little...
So there was
it was
foreshadowing.
something. Maybe he's playing. No, there's no force. But I just loved how he was able to play somebody that they apparently idolize or have fun with on their own time.
Yeah.
Goodman played a good dog, the bounty hunter. I wrote that down.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite character out of all of them.
Oh yeah, and the girl with the lips was funny.
Oh,
What's her
man,
name?
whatever her name is.
That was funny.
Liz?
Big
I mean,
Ange.
Big Ange.
Yeah.
Big Ange.
Yeah.
That
But
was
it
very
took
funny.
me. I had to rewind it
Yeah.
because I couldn't figure out who it was.
Yeah.
Because of the lips.
She was a fantastic.
Really,
Big Ange.
that was more because of the boobs. Like, I don't know a cast member with that big of boobs. And it was like,
I
who was
honestly,
that?
I don't even know that person. I don't know who it is, but
Yeah.
the character she was doing was funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care to
Hilarious.
know who that person
I
is.
didn't.
Right.
I couldn't
The
even
real
understand what
person.
she said, to be honest with you.
But that's Big Ange, though. That's the whole essence of it. It was great.
And then Kings of Leon were Duck Dynasty doing the sings. I thought that was a nice little.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, and then who was it at the end that played all the cast members? It was the Eddie Murphy knockoff.
Oh, wasn't it Bobby
Moynihan? Yeah.
Yeah, he played
all the cast members of Pawn Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like the Eddie Murphy, the old Eddie Murphy
did
adage.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I like the cartoons. It reminded me of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of like when he would punch him, the veins would come out, and just got very violent for no reason.
Is that
Reminded me of that.
what's the reference to the cartoons? Was it does Guy Fieri? Did anybody do something like that, or that was just an added little?
I don't know if it was like just to add a little transition between it for something weird. I think Guy Fieri's so out of left field. Like I wouldn't. I would expect him to have something like that.
Okay.
That actually is a really good transition. That was a good point for the editing. That's a nice way to transition between each sketches, very calmly.
And it's on parallel with Guy Fieri.
Yeah, exactly, And then
so I didn't question it.
All the characters. Mimi from Drew Carey was Adie Bryant. At the end, when they stared off at the camera, she was just that pissed off look that Mimi would have. It was so dead on.
She's great.
I think I was happy for them, and like I said at the beginning, I feel like they really enjoy getting to do
all these different characters.
Yeah, just doing different characters. So I feel like they, I would enjoy that one if I was at SNL. So it was fun. I felt like they had a lot of fun with that one.
But I got a question.
Yeah.
At the end, when they're all grouped together, you saw all the characters.
Yeah.
There was one that wasn't Noelle Wells. Her character wasn't notified of like who she was. But then there was a race car driver behind her. Who was that guy? I tried pausing it and looking to figure it out. I couldn't figure out who, if it was a cast member.
John Milheiser.
No, because he was Vernon, and he was.
Was it just one of the featured players, maybe?
No, I couldn't figure out who it was. And it was just so if anyone on YouTube's watching and you want to leave a comment, if you know who it is, let me know.
Or call us.
Wow, you guys are so knowledgeable about he's like John Milheiser. I'm like, I don't even know who that is. I know he's on the show, and obviously you guys talk about this, but I feel like I'm in that class I was talking about, and I did not do the reading.
Right. I'm learning with you right now.
Every once in a while,
yeah.
I'm bringing it back old. I'm like Chevy Chase.
Hey, no, that's
Bill Murray was on last night.
Come on, I said Dan Aykroyd. I'm like, come give me a break.
Names the rest of our show.
Yeah, but that skit had a lot of energy, and I still gave it a B. I wasn't 100% on it. I just really liked the energy of the skit, though.
Yeah. So, I still gave it a B too, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
What'd you?
Yeah, I'm in the B-ish range, you know.
B.
Again, partially to reserve the A's for the ones that I would like. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
When they hit a home run.
Yeah.
I gave this an A too before realizing what the other was, and I gave it a whole page's worth of notes.
That's a good page of notes. Well, then tell us give us a gem off there that maybe you haven't said yet.
The thing is, I was just listing characters, impressions. I did it. And I was just there's some quotes, like, we're going to put the ham back in family, or however he said it. I totally butchered it.
That's okay.
I'm here. I'm on SNL. So.
No, I got you.
I'm with you. I like the attention to detail.
Thank you.
That means you liked it.
Yeah. That's how I roll,
Dancing snowflakes.
Yeah, the holiday pageant, yeah.
Interesting again.
Yeah.
What do you think, right
It started out interesting, and it kind of went, it started going, I thought it went to a good place. It started once the thought bubbles started getting crazier and crazier, which is I think where you need to go. I thought that was good, and I was waiting for one of them to be like, did anyone go like, oh, I'm gonna go blow my head out?
No, they didn't go there. It didn't
I was
get
waiting
dark.
for it to get really dark.
Yeah.
Amy said she wanted to put a bullet in her skull, but I don't think she didn't end with that. It was in the middle. She's like, I want to put a bullet in my skull.
Yeah, I think it would have been great if it kept going darker and darker. Like they're revealing stuff about themselves. I like the boner thing was funny. But it kept getting boners. If they found more of that stuff to throw in there, whatever it might have been, like, my ass itches, you know what I'm saying? And then like,
what am I gonna do?
Yeah, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They could have fun.
You scratch it for me.
Yeah, they could have stuff like that. And then what I thought was, because again, having done sketch, a lot of times you write a sketch and then you get to a point you're like, well, how are we going to end it?
Yeah.
And so I think the ending was a little, because they go, oh, I'm pretty good, I am good. I'm like, they ended kind of a little too nice.
It was it got so positive.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it should have ended something. I think it should have gone darker, ended darker. And I think again, it got better than what I expected at first. I was like, what is this? And then once that thought started coming out, I was like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't an A in that sense.
Right, right.
No, I'm with you. I wrote, actually, that's what I wrote. My star at the end was, it was kind of a one-note sketch. Like, the best part of it was seeing Goodman dressed up as a snowflake. After it was all said and done, my best part of it for me was seeing John Goodman dressed up as a stinking snowflake. Like, that was cool for me. But I did like... when Keenan said I'm a 48-year-old black snowflake.
Yeah.
That was my favorite revelation thought bubble,
that was funny.
that anybody had. So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like on a skit, you kind of have like about a minute and a half to grab us, and the snowflake.
Didn't do it
in
for
that
you?
minute and a half, they lost me.
Really?
And I was listening to everything. There was a couple funny things that were said, but I was just kind of like getting through it, you know, and it never turned that corner for me.
Like, you know what they could have done possibly, and this is, I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's hard to write these things. I mean, there's a reason why I was telling Roya earlier, like usually every week, once you hit the news segment, after you know, the weekend update, it's downhill from there. Because it's hard. It's really hard to write funny sketches every week.
I can't even imagine.
But I would think, like, maybe one way to have gone is possibly to have gone in their thoughts as these characters, and then gone one step further and gone into their thoughts as the real people who they were. So, like, if John Goodman would be like, I had 12 good ones, what am I doing here on the 13th? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he starts going there, and one of them, like,
great, though.
and Keenan could be like, man, you know, Jason left so-and-so, I should have left last season.
Right. I like
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
I would have loved
like that. Then
Yeah.
it gets funnier and funnier, you know? And then, like, the girl, what's the blonde girl's name? Who you guys know?
80 Bryant
80
or
Bryant.
Vanessa Bayer?
That was
The one who
Vanessa
she
Bayer.
moved her head to.
yeah.
Like, if she would, like, she's new, right?
Yeah.
Newish.
No, like you could have been. She could have been like, nobody knows who I am.
Right.
You know,
People still don't know who I am.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could have had. Then
That's
you,
great.
You know what I'm saying? Now you go to another. You go.
I loved it. I love that.
Yeah.
That skit's
You know what
awesome.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you start there, then you go there, then you go dark, then you go to this thing.
Yes.
What the hell am I doing here?
Right.
You know?
It's so vulnerable. It brings us in. It's like we're living in their minds, the actual person. I love it.
Yeah.
My wife is never going to see my penis again, especially since it's been bunched up in this tight unitard.
Yeah.
He's like, then I had to fold it. I'm like, oh, it's the black joke's coming in now. Here we go.
How do you know it's not just a joke for all mankind?
Well, I'll tell you how I know.
He's folded his today.
He's like, I'm in a unitard right now.
You know?
Okay, can we move to the next sketch? Because I have a lot I want to say about this.
Sure.
sketch.
I just want to say 80 Bryant, though, I thought without her movements and her gestures in that sketch, it wouldn't have held it as long as it did. And then also Keenan, I think, was what kept it going.
Yeah.
Without his lines and him just being him, I think it would have been like a flop. You know,
Props
for
to
sure.
80 for smiling. She had this smile on her
She
face.
just had it
the entire
consistent.
time.
Yeah.
Actually,
and
did the neck again.
hands,
She
Yeah.
did the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, 80's the skinnier one, right?
That's
Other way
Vanessa.
around. That's Vanessa.
Yeah, the other girl. Yeah. So she did
Yeah.
the neck thing too.
Yeah,
She's
she had this
funny.
like
Yeah.
crazy,
It's very funny.
crazy,
It was very funny. Yeah.
possessed
cool.
smile.
But yes, we can move on to Three Wise Guys.
Three wise guys. Robert De Niro.
From
So
New
that's some
Jersey.
heavy hitters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously they were promoting that movie that
The new
Grudge Match.
Grudge match.
What's the buzz on that?
Yeah,
AfterBuzz?
let's talk about that AfterBuzz Grudge Match. I did nothing about it appeals to me.
Yeah.
Except for Kevin Hart because I like him.
The
You
movie.
mean
I
Robert De Niro's man boobs don't make you interested?
Don't move you.
It's an interesting concept. I wonder how they came up with it. I mean, obviously, he's like fans of Rocky and all the De Niro stuff. You want to see it.
Raging Bull, all
it's
that
one
stuff.
of those things where I think you should read the reviews first.
Sure. Yeah.
And if the reviews are like 9 out of 10 go, this just sucks, then just wait. But if some of them go, hey, it's entertaining, then you go get a popcorn, you watch it.
Maybe that might be a Redbox one for me. Like I'll watch most movies, especially if they have people that I like in them. Like I like all three of these guys. But I don't know if I'll spend like movie theater money, and here's why: because there's like 7 good holiday movies coming out.
There's a lot.
All of them that after I watched the 2-minute trailer on TV or whatever it is, that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to see that. And this one, I saw the trailer and I was like,
Is Redbox
Redbox.
sorry to be a little behind? Is Redbox the one where you go and you just rent it out of the box,
it's
or
the
is
one
it
with the,
online?
the big red box.
Yes, you go and you get a DVD, right?
Right.
It's like
yeah,
$1.29.
Wait, it's not the purple box?
No, I'm saying like you couldn't just do it
crap.
on like
What am I
you couldn't do it like
donating
on
to?
Apple TV or something. That is not
Purple
there
Box
yet.
is the ghetto knockoff.
It's the ones that are like the
If
gas stations. The
Wondering why
cool
there's someone
thing,
pulling at me.
it's cool we do it too. The cool thing is
Don't
you
leave your
can
credit
get
card
a
at
red
home.
box from any red box and drop it off at any other one,
Oh,
which is
Yeah.
cool.
Interesting.
And you can actually reserve one. If you're at your house and you're like, oh my gosh, this red box at 7-Eleven has Grudge Match, you can reserve it on your phone, the app, and it holds it. So if somebody's at the box trying to get it right then, it holds it for you.
That's awesome.
Wow.
cool.
So if you don't
Interesting.
own that phone or have
Right.
an app on it, you're screwed.
I did not know this.
Redbox.
Yeah, red box is where it's at.
This class
I
is
don't know,
really
I'm
teaching us something here today.
listen, students.
Sorry, Danny. I'm a Netflix person. You
Oh, yeah?
know, I was a Blockbuster
Yeah, I'm a
person, but I
Netflix,
was
yeah.
forced out of
Yeah.
Blockbuster. So
You got kicked out of a Blockbuster?
no, I was just like shut down.
kidding.
I
I'm
can't,
kidding,
you know.
Raya.
Well, and I still owe them stuff. Anyways,
Good time to buy the stock.
Buy it.
So yeah, this sketch. In the beginning, I don't know if maybe the cue cards weren't moving quick enough for them,
was
or
so
they didn't have their
slow.
contacts in, or glasses.
Yes.
I don't know.
I kind of like that though, that it was going slow.
you?
I like the off timing of it, especially with De Niro. He was like he was the most off
It was
with the timing, right?
He didn't seem like he was
but it was
invested.
funny.
Well, he straight up reads all the time.
Right.
And there was another one years ago where he was the host.
Okay.
And literally he'd be like, let's say I'm talking to you, he'd be like, well, anyway, you and I, what are we gonna do? And they look at you,
And I think that's hilarious. I don't know why I like that about it, because he's older, he's a legend.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, let the timing just flow and let it be awkward and weird. But I'm into the Goodfellas. I'm into the gangster movies. I like that whole feel of what was going on there.
I think, look, that's one of those things where it's like an NBA All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, these guys are here. They're doing the
messing
guest review.
around.
You weren't expecting it. So really, you give them a lot of leeway.
Sure.
I agree with you. If that were 3 of the cast members doing that, you would have been like,
of
what the
course.
hell was that?
Yeah.
Complete
Because
change.
it's these 3 guys, and then you have like basically street joke. Because like I think one of the lines, Stallone did something like. Something with the camel toe?
Yeah.
What was the line?
I make my camel wear sneakers. Why?
shoes.
Why?
So when I look down, I don't see
my
camel toe.
Yeah, I was like, that's got to be a street joke. That's got to be one of those.
Well, I just felt like, okay, so Stallone, I felt like was invested in his character. Like
Yeah.
he was there.
Yeah, you can tell that.
He was invested. I just feel like De Niro didn't invest at all. Like you could tell he
Because
just wasn't invested.
they're probably going to ask Robert De Niro back before they ask
I
Stallone
know,
back to
it's
host.
Bobby
So-
D.
Has Stallone hosted?
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, I think he has.
Maybe.
Somebody look it up. Let us
Maybe.
know.
I
I'm
don't
sure
think
he
he
has.
has.
He must have.
Because I
he
kind of
has.
want to see him host.
I think he has.
As he is now.
now. Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
he definitely was invested. I agree with you.
Yeah.
He was all over it.
I'll tell you, De Niro is actually notorious for. I mean, I think any director that's like recently been able to get him to like, and it depends on what the project is, but I think he's notorious for not, depending on what, if it's like if he's doing it for the money, he's not going to show up off book. Like I actually have somebody,
Okay.
I know somebody who worked with him on some movie. The movie he did a while back with, not Edward Norton. It was one of these cop movies, and it was like this movie that was just like, eh.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
supposedly, my friend was a script supervisor.
Okay.
And she said that the director, so De Niro kept doing takes and didn't have the lines. He was supposed to be he was supposed to be walking and talking.
Yeah.
Didn't have it. Finally, the director turned to the script supervisor and goes, "Listen, just go stand behind the camera and just feed him the line as they go." Like
Wow.
he's like, "I don't care," because he didn't seem to be, like you said, he wasn't invested.
Wow.
Because whatever, he's probably got so many other things going on.
Of course.
He owns Tribeca now. I mean, he owns half of New
Yeah,
York.
yeah.
He doesn't care about
Legend, man.
So they probably were like, "Hey, you want to come do this? It'll help promote the movie." And he was, "Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Is Sly doing it? Great. We'll do it with John. Why not? We'll go." And he shows up. He's like, "What am I saying?" It's right there. All right, go. I'm Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what made me love it. That's exactly why I
Okay.
love it.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
That's what makes me love him.
Stallone hosted September 27th, 1997.
There you have it.
I want to see
Wow.
him now. Thank you very much, Steve. I want to see him do it now.
And the other thing that I think adds to the sketches, if you have some knowledge of the biblical story, they made a
Yes.
couple of references. Oh, his dad's a carpenter.
Right.
Well, I heard he's not a baby. That kind of stuff.
A manger. What's
Yeah.
a manger?
Yeah.
Why'd I call it a
Yeah.
crib?
Yeah.
Frankincense was hair gel. That was hilarious.
Did you say hair or hand?
Hair gel.
Whatever
It's
he
like-
said, that was
like
funny.
hair gel.
The
Yeah.
frankincense thing, yeah.
The writing was, I liked the writing for sure. It's just in the beginning, it was kind of that little
Yeah.
slow. I didn't know if that was part of it or not. I don't know. It's just, I was trying to get through it. I'm like, all right, come on, focus. They're on camels that are moving really. One's not moving, but the other are. just,
Right.
just chilling. I want to know who's doing the
They would
camels.
stop moving for like a minute, and then they would start moving again.
Yeah.
I did like that when he's like, I got him a meatball parm and a Yankee onesie. Like, it was
Right.
very, very New
Yeah.
York. I
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
Stones.
I like the GPS, going by places by stars.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. De Niro said he bought out all the hotels or something like that.
Yeah, I bought
Yeah.
out bought out the inn. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought out all the ends.
Yeah, it's kind of like, again, if you take it as All-Star
Just-
Weekend, it's kind
yes.
of like the celebrity game.
Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
lower your standards. There's
Sure.
not gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
slam dunks, reverse slam dunks.
Right.
But you're gonna enjoy
It's
it.
true.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable.
That's the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So
Kings of Leon.
now I liked their performance. I liked their music. I like listening to them. I've seen them live.
Ooh.
They sound just like that live, and they perform just like that live as they did on SNL.
Half asleep.
Yes.
The first,
Yes.
the first song. They look like they woke up from a nap during the Stallone and
Yeah.
John Goodman sketch with De Niro.
Yeah, no, that's how they were live when I saw them live, and I just saw No Doubt before that too. So No Doubt's a completely different,
Yeah,
of course.
beast.
Spectrum.
And so it was a little awkward seeing them how they were live, but they were still performance like their music's good. You know, they.
That guy's voice is great. I know Kings of Leon. I don't know them that well, but when I hear it, I go, oh, they're the ones who go, oh, your love makes me.
And your sex is on fire.
Your sex is on fire.
I got you.
Oh. So that guy's voice is great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what's interesting is I didn't know what he looked like at all. But when I was watching him yesterday, I was like, if I saw the guy walking down the street, I would have no idea who he is because he just seems like just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like what maybe that goes into the playing of it. Like he doesn't seem like, when you watch Mick Jagger perform, Mick Jagger's like all over the place. And he's done SNL a million times. Like there's some people who will jump around, you know, raise the roof. Kanye's on there. He's like, yeah, come on, yo. You know what I'm saying? This guy was just like you said. He's just sitting there. This is what I do.
You know, if you close your eyes, they sounded phenomenal. It was just watching them. Like they just looked like they were half asleep. And I read this review somewhere online this morning about it that I can't remember the writer, and I wish I could source him because I don't remember his name. But he was talking about that it almost seemed like they were trying to be aloof, like indifferent. And indifference is fine. Most bands are, and that's kind of the thing they play. But it was almost like they seemed aloof, like there was a disconnect. I think it was somebody that was in the room that was writing this, saying it was just weird with the audience, like the vibe was weird. Like almost like Oasis tried to play that game, is what he was saying back in the day. And that's what, I don't know.
But it's just that, but I mean that's just who they are. I mean they're probably promoting some tour. I think they are doing a tour or something. So you end up on the show, and that's just who you can't get. They don't have someone before the show go like their manager's not like, guys, I know that normally you're a folk band, but tonight I need you to be rocking. I need you guys to be jumping around, get some cartwheels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I'm a rock star. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me what to do.
This is great. I'm gonna sell out with or without you, and I'm just gonna go do my thing.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see him have a little more energy.
That's how it was. I mean, I was trying to look to see if I can find the performances from their prior SNL perform live.
Have they done it before?
Can't speak. Yeah, they've been on I think like 3 times.
Yeah.
And I was trying to look that up, but I was having no luck.
You should email their website, Dan. You should be like, hi, guys. I saw you last night. Really enjoy your voices. But if you just had a little more energy, I might actually come to one of your shows. Imagine he gets an email back. Hey, man, this is the king of Leon. Listen, dude, really appreciate the feedback.
However,
we're totally working on it. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to get some energy. Next time we're going to do some, we're going to have some Red Bulls before.
Oh, man.
that's great. I really enjoyed that.
Or better yet, he comes in, emails back, he's like, dude, we totally were taking a nap. We didn't even know we're on. Dude, that sketch ended early.
I woke up when Stallone's at the Camel Toe joke. That was great.
Camel
They
sketch
didn't have
put us to
organic
sleep.
Red Bulls.
Organic Red Bulls. So, anyway.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Oh, Kings of Leon. That was the first. Okay, next is what's up next?
The weekend update.
Weekend update.
Yeah. Update. Yeah.
Is this Seth's second to last one?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know Seth Meyers is leaving.
He has a season over already?
No.
He's taking Jimmy Fallon's
He's got to go do some stuff.
So I think next week there could be something really cool with Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers because Jimmy could like anoint him to his seat or something could happen.
Yeah.
I just hope they do something with it.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a great host too. He'll do well.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, that guy's got good.
I can't wait. Next week I think it'll be the best show of the season.
And they're bringing Timberlake. They're like the dynamic duo, right?
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
And Cecily's honestly, she's getting on her own now. She's owning it. She's getting it. She's delivering. When she did the President Bush joke with he showed his paintings, his cats and dog paintings.
Yeah.
And he was our president for 8 years.
For 8 years.
Did he really show cat and dog paintings? On
Yeah.
the
doing it, yeah.
That's like his hobby now.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
His thing.
Yeah.
Did anyone?
G-Dub.
Did you guys see an image of this?
I have
painting?
not seen an image of it.
I wonder if they're good or if it's just like circles.
Right. These are the whiskers.
I'm George W. Bush. Look at my painting. Like he talks
I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
Like parents sit there like, yeah, that's a cat. Like imagine if the other presidents are like, yeah, that's a cat.
It's a cat.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Wait, so taking Jimmy Fallon's seat, what are we talking about? He's
taking over the late night show.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because Jimmy's taking over
Fallon's
Jay
going.
Leno's.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
the
know
New
all
Year. Yeah,
this.
it's gonna happen in the New Year.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. That's
School
extra
in
credit in the class.
You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
That's good.
Keenan as Santa. Can we talk
Black
about this?
Santa,
Love
yes.
this.
Black Santa.
Great.
Yes.
You've heard of Secret Santa. Here's a secret. I'm black as hell. I love that line.
Did anybody see that on Fox News? What's the lady's name? Who's the reporter that said
Crazy white lady.
Yeah, crazy white lady. She says that not only is Santa white, but Jesus Christ is white too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is This is America.
Yeah.
This is happening right now.
Well, she said that it was actually funny because if people saw that, there was coverage from a lot of places. Daily Show covered it very well.
Did they? Okay.
You got to see the clip because basically because the lady goes on and says, I guess this came from someone wrote an article in Slate magazine. A black lady wrote an article in Slate magazine saying, you know, whatever. I didn't relate to Santa because he was white.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
That's how it started.
The lady
off.
said something like, just because you don't like something, she goes, you can't just change it or something like that.
Right.
And then it comes back to Jon Stewart, who's like sitting there looking at the camera, and then he's like, I'm pretty sure that's the definition of oppression as well. And then he goes, but they covered it really well. They hit it hard.
Okay.
And it was great. Like that.
I gotta look that up.
You see Daily Show, like, you know, that's like a grand slam,
Right.
And then I read somewhere that I didn't see it, but I guess Colbert covered it too. And I'd heard this. I'd heard a black comedian do this joke before about how Santa can't be black because if a black man were coming down your chimney, you call the cops, shoot him or call. So I've seen some. I don't know who it was. Some black comedian done that, but then the Colbert Report supposedly hit it with that as well. So then when I saw Keenan come on, I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't do that joke because it's kind of been done and stuff. But then he was able to cover it in another way, which was nice. I think he mentioned it at the end.
He did.
A little bit.
He said, when I sneak in your house, don't call the police.
But he did some funny, even like the twist of like where she goes, oh, you and Mr. Santa are white. He's like, oh no, she's not white. No, she's not black. That was funny.
And when he said, Miss Claus can't tolerate living in the cold. If she was black, she'd be living in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
That was funny.
That was great. That was
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Keenan, again, what you were saying earlier. Keenan does it with a smile.
Yeah.
He's likable and he's funny and he killed it.
The reason why I was before kind of like against him was because he always breaks. When he's trying to be a character, he just giggles, and it's before the joke even is delivered. So that's where my little hold back on. But all the characters he's been on so far have been those lovable kind of like, I love it. I love
Yeah,
kind
he
of
did a
I'm
great
glad
job.
you're coming around to Keenan. Maybe it's just the holidays, but I'm really glad you're coming around to Keenan.
We'll see what happens next week, right?
And I think that's kind of his thing. His little breaks is to kind of engage his audience, his fan base. Because they feel like, you know, they understand him more. They're in it with him. You know, it's kind of that wink to the fourth wall or whatever. This is what's going on. So that's kind of his thing. It's trademark.
Him and Cecily had great, you know, chemistry too when they were talking back and forth with each other. It literally seemed like a legit interview with, you know, with
Black Santa.
Yeah, Black Santa. So it was
Black
great.
Santa. I'm actually playing Black Santa at a bar mitzvah coming up.
Oh, great.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
New Year's Eve. I mean, Christmas Eve. I'm going to be Black Santa. They asked for a Black Santa.
Fantastic.
I don't know what's going to happen if I don't make it back. If I'm in like some concentration
camp. It's a gig. It's a gig.
I'm doing it, man. I love the kids.
It's all for the kids. Drunk Uncle.
With Drunker Uncle.
With Drunker Uncle.
Yeah.
I love this. Feliz Navi don't. I loved this. I love Drunk Uncle.
When they brought him out, though, do you remember me last week talking with Jeremy and saying how they should make Drunk Uncle have a son? And bring him out. And I was like, I saw him like, oh my God, is it happening?
You were so,
you know, but
they did say that. You said that in the predictions last week.
Yeah.
They went the other way around, but it's still close.
Yeah.
Does he come out every week, Drunk Uncle?
No.
Okay.
This is
He's
the
a
second time this season, I think.
I think that's another one that could have used a little tightening and a little more of a, like, because he would do some stuff that was insulting and then some stuff that was just like, it wasn't that, like, it was great when the Drunker Uncle came out and said something about the Asians or something like that.
Yeah.
They should have just been, right off the bat, it should have started with da-da-da-da-da and then just, boom, just gone.
Just rail him.
Just gone for it, you know?
Yeah.
But overall, it was funny still.
He stays in character, too, which is great.
That's what I love about him, the Drunk Uncle. I don't think it goes there enough either.
Yeah.
But I do love the character he plays. He's just
well, there was
like,
a line he said that was like really, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, it was the Black Friday now? Wasn't February enough?
Oh, man.
You need more of that. You see, you need
Right.
more of that because Drunk Uncle's got to be this guy who
That's
just
the real Drunk Uncle.
offends, reveals information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, your mother's not your mother.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Why?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go there.
Yes.
And again,
I
they
agree.
did another one of those characters to say bye to Seth. This is going to be the last time.
Yep.
There's another
Just like
emotional
Jacob the
moment.
Bar Mitzvah boy last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gave Weekend Update.
And I said bar mitzvah, I meant a Christmas party. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just kind of let it go. I didn't want to judge.
I was in the Jewish Hanukkah.
I was, you know, just letting
bar
it-
mitzvah. Danny Hoyt, I thought maybe. No? A little bit?
A little bit.
You know. So the next one was the civil suit.
Yep.
And
What was the civil suit?
The one where John Goodman's dressed up as a woman.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I was waiting
loved
for
it.
them to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like every good thing they did was after Weekend Update. So this is when I felt like the whole
Which is
episode got
very
good.
unique because usually it goes downhill.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it was totally the other way around this time.
Well put. Yeah.
So okay, I read something interesting. This is Taron Killam, who played the other lawyer, the opposing lawyer. It would usually be Jason Sudeikis or Bill Hader. So this is the first time since both those guys are gone that Taron Killam has done a live sketch that's not a character, like that's just Taron.
Straight guy.
Yeah, and I thought Taron did a great job.
He did, yeah.
He did.
I was excited to see because he's gonna be a lot of the show's gonna be on his shoulders in the coming seasons.
Yeah.
And he just keeps stepping up to the plate and knocking out home runs. I know I keep going back to the analogy, but
That's fine. That's good enough. You know, it's interesting what you just said. That might be actually be a strategy for them to. They should maybe heavy load. Is that the word? The second half, because usually people will watch that first 30 minutes no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right, because people have gotten used to it being great for the first 30 and then bad.
Sure.
They should take the best sketches and put them towards the end, and then start with, because the cold open is always going to be fun. The monologue usually, depending on who it is, you can have some fun with it. If you put a commercial in there, all you need is like 2 sketches to get you to Weekend Update,
Yeah.
and then you just take off. Just a thought, Lauren, if you're watching this, I know you are. It's just some advice on how to run your show.
No, it makes
There we go.
sense because it's also getting later at night, so people need something that's going to be more of a pick me up towards the end.
Yeah, but that
I
was funny,
agree.
and also the whole Keenan again was funny as hell.
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
He
That was
was.
funny. Yeah.
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 See, there
Keenan
was
hitting
another.
on what was her name? Lazara.
Lazara.
I love his little laugh for her.
Yeah.
the way he does his lips like
Yeah.
that too. I wrote down though this because I was waiting for Beck Bennett to be in this episode. Beck Bennett, I don't know if you know which guy he is. He's the one that's in the AT&T commercials with the kids. What's better, faster or slower? He was the one with the dance moves at the end. That was the white guy. That was
Oh, was he?
Yeah, yeah.
That was him.
That's Beck Bennett. And I've been
What?
waiting for him to be in this episode because he's one of my favorite new featured players. And his
Yeah.
dance moves were he had no lines.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
But
funny.
just watching him dance in the
Yeah.
and he kept his suit button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah,
I
No,
wrote
they're
amazeballs under that. I don't know. I created a word.
Man, you must have been really happy watching this last
I
night.
watched it this morning versus watching it because I got off work really late, and usually I was in a grumpy mood. So I'm like, I'm gonna be just ripping it if I'm watching it grumpy. So
Okay.
I decided to fresh start,
Okay.
watch it. You
cup
know,
of coffee and SNL. That's
yeah,
what I did
exactly.
this morning.
You know,
Nice.
That's cool.
But-
Yeah, I like the sketch. It
Yeah.
was good.
It was- and then the next, a returning character from the Astoria Elementary School,
Yes, and this is when we started talking
Shannon.
about
Yeah.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Very
What-
funny.
He called her like Sharon. She
No,
goes,
is it
no,
Shannon
no.
or is it Shallon? I thought it was
Shallon?
Shallon,
Oh, Shallon, yeah.
Alan, yeah.
Shallon. I totally
I can't even
butchered
do
that.
her voice.
I just did what he did on the sketch.
Yeah.
No, completely off. Completely
I didn't
off.
know much about her. She is hilarious to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the
Hilarious.
Edward Norton one. Because
Okay.
it talks about, it's the same situation where there's an instructor comes in and talks about what to do or what not to do safety wise. And
Yeah.
this one is stranger danger, basically.
Okay.
And so they're like, don't get into a van. And she goes, so you're saying the van could have candy? She's like,
Someone get in that van!
Yeah.
and just kind of goes off on that
Yeah.
idea. So it was great. This sketch, though, compared to that sketch, wasn't as great as
Wasn't
the
as
first
great,
one.
but it was still good.
It was, because it was a different topic, fire, safety. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I loved it. I work with hood kids, so it had that hood kid
Mm-hmm.
feel. Everything you say to a kind of a hood child, they flip it in their minds
Yeah.
and see it from this negative other side. I'm like, dude, I loved it the whole way through. She's hilarious.
And also well written, so that to the point where everyone had a funny line.
Yeah,
everyone.
true.
It was good.
Yeah.
That's very hard to do. Usually
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
one character, but everyone had a good line in there.
And I felt like they carried John Goodman. John Goodman
Yeah.
is, obviously, one of the best ever, but in this, the younger guys were kind of,
Well, he's the straight man in the scene.
yeah,
You know, so
which is difficult.
yeah,
to do.
Yeah.
I sacrificed myself for you,
Yes,
Santa.
I wrote that.
Then I call you. You're the firefighter. Stop being on fire. Then come to my house and put me out. Yeah.
Then what do you do if you don't have a fireplace? Get on the roof. Great.
And then you said
Stop jumping around.
Moynihan. He's like, do your job, fireman.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I loved it.
So then the next sketch was the Hallmark Christmas channel.
D-.
What?
It's a Hallmark countdown to Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Tell us
yeah.
why it's not. Hold on. What did you think, first of all?
I think it was kind of like probably one of the weaker ones of the night.
It
I
seemed
would
like a
agree.
filler.
How long was it? It was only like 30 seconds.
It was a commercial,
It was a
basically.
quick commercial.
But you liked it.
I liked it
Tell
because
us
they
why.
had all these these old celebrities, older, like, has-been kind of, sorry, no offense, celebrities. And that's how, to me, the Hallmark Channel puts out movies.
Yeah.
You know? So it was like, it was spot on with what they do. I think their programming is...
So you watch Hallmark?
No, but you know, it's always
you're confessing that right now.
If my mom's cooking in the kitchen during the holidays, Hallmark's on. If my girl's cooking, Hallmark's on.
ABC Family. ABC Family does a countdown. I'm just saying.
Hallmark is kind of, I guess, the older crowd.
Yeah,
you know, my mom, you know, those kinds.
It's hard to, and this isn't my thought. I wrote
Felicia Rashad taking a nap. I was laughing.
They said it's hard
hilarious.
to satirize. How do you say that? Satirize something that is already a parody. And I thought that was really well worded because that's true. Like on Dancer on Danza, if I saw that on my DirecTV listing, I'd be like, it's okay. Like I wouldn't think twice that that's a joke.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Tony Danza's really losing it over there.
Isn't Hallmark known to have like all the shows where women are like get raped and stuff?
I think that's Lifetime.
That's Lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifetime.
My mom and I call Lifetime the I Hate Men
Hallmark
channel.
goes there.
That's basically
The
what
Hallmark
happens.
goes there,
But they rape you in a fun way.
They wear a condom.
With a slow, and they rhyme it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a card.
and it makes you feel good, and then they wrap it in a bow and send it to you in the mail.
Congratulations.
Get the Charlie Brown sequel.
Steven. Okay.
So I didn't give it an A though, but I did appreciate the 30 seconds they gave me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was creative.
I did not like it. It was my least
Yeah.
favorite of the night.
I would have rather have seen more at the end of them saying bye than that sketch. You know?
Yeah.
I'm right with you.
So
Kings of Leon.
It's same as before.
Yeah.
Same, good music.
They woke
but-
up for this one a little bit.
Oh, did they?
They were a little
I was
late for
listening
one.
this time.
They
Yeah,
got
wait
your
for me.
email. They got your email.
Yeah.
Email, boys.
Mental email.
Listen to me here.
So then the Turner, just because of time, Turner Classic Movies.
Oh yeah, that was really
The
fun.
Christmas
The whistle.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That was really good.
I liked it. I was laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was really good because especially the payoff at the end was the thing that was stuck
The
in his
payoff
throat.
was good.
Yeah.
If the payoff were not there, then you'd be like, but him breaking the character, it was the dichotomy of him having had the lesson and then like yelling, "It's not my God!" That stuff, you know, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then the family broke down the whole structure. The wife's like, "Yeah, it's because you always been a loser."
It kind of
That
got me
whole
a
thing.
headache, though.
Really?
Like, it kind of
It-
got
it-
like a little bit through. I was like, what is happening? What is
It
going
did,
on?
but it
That's what I'm
worked
saying.
because that's how it was. You
But
know?
the
payoff was
end,
Yeah.
the payoff.
The
That's the
payoff.
point. Yeah.
One of my favorite lines was when Adie Bryant comes out as the mom, and she goes, "What is that racket?" And Kate McKinnon goes, "Oh, it woke up mother."
Your mother lives with us.
Yeah, she's living with. No, she's just staying with us until she dies.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
I thought that was awesome.
And at the end, when the whistle's on the ground and Nassim picks it up, it's just, "Oh, honey, that's been in his mouth." You know?
And it lands
Yeah.
right in the jar
Yeah.
perfectly.
They're perfect.
They laughed about it.
They have very short, quick lines, but they were sweet.
Yeah.
Like, "Daddy, no." I love
yeah.
that was good to me.
So then the next one is your guys' ultimate favorite,
Booyah!
H&M.
That's how every show should close.
Yeah.
I think
Favorite sketch night.
something that hot.
This is Jay Farrow's second time they've given him a big budget, something to do with. He wrote this, and they let him do it.
Wow.
And highlight it, and it was at the very end, like you said, and they kept going. I think they should keep doing it, loading it like that. It was good.
Yeah, he's super talented and just so diverse. He can do so much.
Oh, that'll go viral.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what H&M thinks of that.
I'm sure they love it. It's great
Yeah,
press for them.
of course.
You
I
kidding
was
me?
thinking, how can they use it to monetize it?
Right.
You know,
Dude,
If
they
they'll
are
start
gonna
showing-
love
Yeah.
that. It's not like they were making fun of Walmart for child labor or something.
Right, right,
It was
Yeah.
it's making fun of what it is. And
Right,
I'm sure they
right.
love
It
it.
is exactly what it is. Clothes
Yeah.
on the floor. And,
And, listen,
yeah.
and throughout history with SNL, these shorts and these things have always been some of the hottest things.
Mm-hmm.
So the videos have often been and this is a great thing that Jay's hitting into. So that's
I would have
great.
never guessed Jay to take Andy Samberg's place and kind of like being the digital short hero guy, but he's kind of like
Yeah.
a
is.
digital
Same
short
league.
guy now. He's got 2 hits.
Well, he's
Right.
got some good people to write and work with on it.
Exactly.
He's got Beck Bennett, he's got Kyle Mooney, and it's awesome to see that blow
Yeah.
up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked how it ended. All this for less than a tank of gas.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
And
But-
Taron Killam's ponytail, I have to say, was amazing.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
The
that was a
last-
home run.
The last sketch was the bar scene.
Okay.
The Donnelly's.
Donnelly's returning sketch.
Favorite. Actually, I have a bunch of favorites, so it's just one of my favorites on last night's sketch. I just love how they had the whipped cream. They got physical humor going into it, and they just went all
committed.
out. Yeah, and the beard at the end, I swear it was coming off because she started blowing on his face, kind of like giving those like did you notice those extra kisses kind of thing? To kind of like pat it back down. And then if you notice, he's faced this way more versus looking at the camera.
So it was coming off.
So just to kind of protect it. So it was kind of a nice little duo that they worked together to end the sketch, however it ended, you know, and not have anyone really notice it. So it was kind of, well, except for I noticed it apparently, but you know, just not make it as
She kind
obvious.
of, I think she kind of laughed at something too, like at that point.
She did.
I think it was
100% right. Yeah.
She got a hairball too. I was like, nah.
He didn't. What's it called when you put your head? She said something.
Motorboat?
He didn't motorboat her. Are you not allowed to on like on network TV?
I don't know. Or did she just say no? She was like, I'll kiss you, but...
Well, they had a joke off of it where she said my boobs are underneath my stomach or something. But he should have. Because she goes motorboat and he's going like this.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, well, that just kind of killed that joke. I mean, the sketch was great.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's allowed, he should have put his head in there and then start. And then she could be like, oh no, it's down lower on my belly.
Yeah.
Then you go. Then that helps that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. She did take a drink of water right after she did the kiss thing, and she kind of like found her water right away.
Yeah,
to like wash her mouth out. But I love that she committed. I love the sketch. That was my second or third favorite of the night, right behind
Her
that.
cat orgasms that she was making, were very dead on with the alley cats that were by my apartment when I used to
Really?
At middle of the night, like that noise. I'm just like, it's springtime, isn't it? Oh man, they're in heat. And it just kind of reminded me of home or my old apartment. So it was good. Good job, Kate. Good job.
Good job,
I'm so
Kate.
glad you have that skill.
Overall, where are you guys at?
I thought it was great.
I gave it an A.
Episode. Yeah.
Overall, this is one of my top favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there. I can't say which one's my favorite this season because they're all been pretty good and I've been very happy with it. But yeah, he held his own. He didn't need any cameos. He had one with the two, and they didn't really help. You know, it was more just a shits and giggles type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved
Maz,
it.
what about you? Where you at?
Yeah, I give it an A.
A?
I'll give it an A. Yeah, I thought it was good. I honestly was expecting it, like always, after Weekend Update to go downhill, and I thought it stayed strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well done.
Agreed. I'm with the A group.
Really?
Yeah.
My expectations were low. I have nothing against John Goodman. My expectations were low, and I think because I set them low, I liked it more. So I ended up in a B family. I was just a solid B.
Get out of here.
Listen, I'm so excited about next week. I was already kind of thinking to next week.
It's like Christmas.
It is Christmas. Jimmy
You
Fallon,
know,
Justin Timberlake.
I've been waiting for it.
So I set my expectations low, and so I think I liked it more because of that. Because I don't think I would have liked it as much if I hadn't been. All that to
High
say,
expectations,
I was in the B family. So, anyways,
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, should we do the predictions and then we'll hop on
quick
to
predictions. And
Cool.
then I would like to talk about predictions for next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
Predictions.
Whoa. Lights and everything.
I want to set let's set the over under on how many cameos there will be next week. I think there will be 13 cameos.
13?
Yes, I want to set the over under at 13.
Huh.
Let's set a little more manageable, 9, but I think there will be 13.
9 or
Yeah,
Oh,
13.
it's got to be under. If you got Fallon and Timberlake already,
Right.
But
that's a lot. They're going to be covering a lot of stuff. I mean, the only way to go to 13 is if what was the band Timberlake was in? Was it
NSYNC.
NSYNC.
Yeah.
If those guys all show up, that's like 6 or 7
I don't
right
know.
there.
I think you're gonna have your Dick in the Box, crew come back and do
Reunion,
something
yeah.
with
You think
him.
Adam
Andy Samberg
Samberg is going to come back?
Maybe, but maybe
Tina
not.
Fey?
Because Fallon can do musical stuff. You don't need those
But
guys.
like last time Fallon hosted, they had what's his name from the little guy that was in Night at the Roxbury. What's his name? Shorter
Chris
guy.
Kattan?
Oh, yeah.
Chris Kattan, and all these guys came back, and
Tracy Morgan, yeah.
Horatio Sands came back. I feel like there could be a lot.
Oh, it's like a Christmas get together.
It's gonna be a Christmas
Maybe you're right.
miracle.
Maybe you're
Christmas
right.
miracle.
We'll see. Maybe. I mean, I know they can hold it.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, feel good. It's a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We'll see.
I really want a sketch to be created. You know how Justin Timberlake has the bring it on down to somethingville, you
Yeah.
know, like whatever. I want to see a competition between him and Jimmy. Have
Oh,
some kind
jeez.
of between the other character being Jimmy. Doing
Yeah.
it. Just saying, that would be a great because Jimmy's got music and Justin,
Yeah.
you know,
That
it
would be nuts.
it'd be awesome. But I don't want to predict because I can't wait. I don't want to open a gift and have it be socks and I was expecting it to be a pony, you know. So
How about a sketch where they each play the other guy? Like if they really worked really hard to do good impressions.
Yeah.
They both do impressions well, so that could work.
Yeah. Maybe
you know they're gonna bring back the one sketch of the duo, the brothers, the British or Come on, you guys. I sound so. Do you know
which one?
The one with the hair, the chest hair, and they sing. And they're like,
Hall and Oates. Is it? No. What were they? What are you talking?
I'm not tracking with you.
What is it? What is it? No, the Eagles. The Eagles. The Bee Gees. It was one of those.
Something.
It's one of those.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those. I remember what you're talking about.
Talking about. That's what they did. They did last year.
Yeah.
Well,
he sings in a real high pitch.
Yeah. This is not helping at all for you. Yes.
Yeah. It's like the
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees. That's what I said.
The brothers.
They're Australian.
Oh wow, that's really off.
You ever seen Saturday Night Fever? Rent it. Hello. Classic.
Redbox it. Hello.
Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. Classic.
Okay.
You guys see it.
So, that was SNL.
SNL.
It's time to talk about you, sir. Staying alive. Do you have a rap that I heard you performed, or you have a rap ready for us? That you want to do? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm a shopping ass.
So tell us, what is the biggest thing going on in your life right now? Tell us, fill us in on you.
Fill you in on me. I got kids. That's big. That's pretty
awesome.
big. I got a 5-year-old boy, almost 3-year-old girl. They keep me busy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just did a comedy special that just came out on iTunes and on Netflix. No, on Amazon. It'll be on Netflix as well. But it's called I Come in Peace.
I Come in Peace.
It's my third stand-up special.
Okay.
And it's whatchamacallit? I filmed it in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden.
Really?
And then it was on Showtime earlier this year, and now it's out for the holiday seasons. So yeah, that's out. And then I also just I just produced and starred in a movie that'll come out next year called Jimmy Westwood, American Hero, which is basically like the Persian Pink Panther. Okay. You know, and it's about a guy who's always wanted to be an American hero, and he wins the green card lottery to come from Iran to America. Oh. And he wants to be like a cop. But the best job he can get is working as a security guard in a Persian grocery store. And then he finds himself in the middle of a plot to start World War III, and he has to save the day.
I love it.
Nice.
And the tagline is, you don't have to be American to be an American hero. So that's that movie.
Like it.
That's that special.
Jimmy
Westwood. And then I Come in Peace. And that's what I've been doing, man.
Where'd you guys shoot that at?
Jimmy Westwood was shot in L.A. Just October through November. We shot it. Yeah,
a quick shoot.
It was 18 days, man.
Wow.
Yeah, independent shooting, filming at its best. It was crazy, man. It's crazy. When you do independent movies, it's a lot of work. A lot of crazy stuff happens as you go along.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you just got to go with the flow. Like, for example, one thing we'd written in was, so Jimmy goes to the beach to spy on somebody, and he's supposed to show up with a big beach ball. And the beach ball is supposed to be so big that I can hide behind it. And all you're supposed to see is my legs. And just, you know, and then I'm supposed to appear behind the beach ball, and then I was supposed to do a bit where I was going to hit the beach ball and roll off of it. So this is independent filmmaking. So we show up the day of, and I had a meeting with the guys that were in charge of the beach ball. I was like, I need a big, and they go, we got the biggest beach ball. No, I show up and I see this small ass beach ball, and I'm in the parking lot, and they're all the way down at the beach, and they're getting the camera ready, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's just the stand-in beach ball. I honestly, so I show up and I'm like, what's going on, guys? Where's the beach ball? And they're like, this is it. I go, did you read the script? And they're like, yeah. I go, I'm supposed to be hidden behind. I go, there's no way I can hide behind this beach ball.
Right.
So it became the situation where we're like, well, what the hell are we gonna do? So it's 7 in the morning in Malibu. So they're like, well, we're looking for a beach ball. We're gonna shoot every other angle now that doesn't need the beach ball, and then we're gonna shoot the beach ball later. So we might have someone go get a beach ball. Okay. All right. So then, like an hour later, they come down like, well, man, all the stores are closed. There's no beach ball stores. I'm like, okay. They go, we can get a yoga ball. They go, we get, because if you want if you want a really big beach ball, you got to order it online.
Oh, wow. You can't buy it at stores.
I guess no. Which, by the way, if anyone's out there, that's a market. You can open up.
It's a beach ball store.
Big. So and then they go, what about you? We can get a big yoga ball. I was like, oh my god. I go, all right, I'll make a yoga ball. First of all, it'd be stupid for me to show up on the beach with a yoga ball. So I was like, all right, I'll make the stupid yoga ball work. Get the yoga ball.
Right.
And then they come back half an hour later. This is guys letting you down slowly, because they come back half an hour later and they go, hey man, there's no yoga stores open right now. I'm like, then why'd you offer me the yoga ball? Now I'm getting pissed. I'm like, this is stupid. I go, now how am I supposed to hide? Because I'm supposed to be there spying on somebody. I'm like, how am I going to hide on the beach if I don't have something to hide behind? And it becomes independent filmmaking. So well, it was basically the director for the DP, the cinematographer was like, hey, what if we use we had a surfboard. He goes, what if you hide behind the surfboard? I was like, all right, I think it's gonna be stupid, but I'll hide behind the surfboard. So then I took a surfboard and I just held it up and I hid behind the surfboard.
Yeah.
And it looks dumb, but it's because it's slapstick.
Right.
It totally works. Because what it is
Good.
I'm hiding behind the surfboard and I'm supposed to like sneak up on this couple. So all I did is I would get the surfboard and I would like move the surfboard towards them and then stop. And I got like flippers on. So you see these flippers coming and the surfboard coming. And then I had this. They gave me this this like what are the ones called that
telescope.
Telescope, yeah, right. So I had a telescope.
Yeah.
That they gave me. And then, that wasn't in the script. So they at least gave me the telescope. So I pull out the telescope to peek behind the surfboard, and now I'm like 3 feet away from this. So when I go like that, the surfboard just falls. And now they're looking at me, and I got the telescope, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey," you know. So it actually worked, but that's independent filmmaking for you.
That's cool.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I come in peace.
Yes.
I come in peace with the stand-up special.
I have to drive next week across half the country. I
Yeah.
was telling you this before the show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go get that.
Get it. It's on iTunes and it's on Amazon, and I think you'll enjoy it. You know, I did, like I said, when I do my stand-up a lot of times, I talk to different people about their ethnicities and stuff, and I get a good mix at my shows. It was interesting. I went to Stockholm, Sweden to do the show, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get the same mix.
Yeah.
You know, but what was amazing was there was at least one or a few of every ethnicity.
Really?
So whatever I would
All
say,
right.
they'd be like, I'm here. So it's interesting too. I used to do this joke where, you know, if I were to be like, hey, are there any Jews in the audience, and they would clap. Are there any Palestinians, and they would clap, and then I would do a joke off of that.
Okay.
And we filmed whenever you do a special, you film 2 shows.
Okay.
You know? So the first show, somebody was like, somehow the Jewish thing came up, and I was like, any Jews? Yeah. And then I go, any Palestinians? There was no Palestinians. And I was like, well, that kind of kills this joke.
Yeah.
But and then the second time we filmed it that night, I had my manager there. I go, listen, dude, why don't you go sit in the audience? I swear to God, because I need this for coverage. I go,
Right.
you go sit in the audience. I go, if when I say Palestinian, if nobody claps, you better clap. So I had him in the audience ready to go, and it was funny because I felt bad doing it because I usually like to be real with, because even in the show, if people see the show, they'll see like the cameraman goes into the audience, and I'm talking to people, I don't know who they are. I'm riffing with them. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I like that. That gives me energy. And so I felt bad, like, setting my manager up.
him, yeah.
I planted him, but it was great because I go, are there any Jews? And then I go, Palestinians. And then it wasn't my man, it was somebody else. And I was like,
wow.
this is, and they were sitting next to each other. Okay. So that added to the joke, because the whole joke is they're in conflict. And this was also in Stockholm, which is where the Nobel Peace Prize is given. So that added a little bit more, where I was like, ladies and gentlemen, only in Stockholm will a Jew sit next to a Palestinian. And they of course, were so proud. They're like, you know. So it was fun, man. It's a fun special, and I think people will enjoy it. I do a lot of material that's political, social, but also stuff about having kids, which even if you don't have kids, I think you would get. Because it's just about like the difficulty in putting them to sleep, and it's just me. It's like me suffering, and it's like let's go on this journey together, you know.
Like observational kind of stuff.
A lot of observational
like that.
stuff,
I really enjoy observational.
And it all comes from my life. That's what's the most. What's the most important thing. And I like a lot of comics who don't like. You know, Stephen Wright's one of the best comedians out there. I think he's hilarious, but it's not about his life. It's about just his funny jokes written in that voice. Mitch Hedberg was another one like that, right?
Yeah.
But I also love guys like Richard Pryor, who would go and talk about it. He set himself on fire, and then he went on stage and talked about it and made it funny. And I think that's important to take from your experiences, your observations. So everything I talk about on stage comes from truth. And like I said, and it's multiracial, so I think people from all different ethnicities will get it. You know,
It's true. I've seen you live, and I brought my Guatemalan friend with me,
Oh.
and she was laughing her ass off the entire time. She was a little worried because I'm like, "There's gonna be a lot of Persians. Just be aware, a lot of Persians." And she's like, "Okay," and we sat down, and she was just laughing her ass off the entire time.
Were you at the Ice House, or which show did you
Comedy, Mad Comedy. House.
Magic Club? Which one? Where was it? Hermosa? Or
Horton, San Diego.
Oh, in San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we went down there. It was a great time. There was this like middle-aged white lady behind us that I guess was recently divorced, but she was totally. You're like, so what are you doing? Oh, and she's like, I'm single. Yeah, Persian. And you're like, you're white. All right. And you like
well, you know,
it.
it's interesting. What's been interesting for me is because I was born in Iran, grew up in America. So when I first started, we did the Axis to Evil comedy tour. That was our tour. It was me and 3 other Middle Eastern American comics, and I think as people started to discover us, the community first started discovering us. because there hadn't been anyone from that background doing stand-up. And the community started, so then they started coming out. And then at first it was like the younger members of the community. Then they started bringing their parents who didn't even speak English sometimes. And they would come to me after the show and be like, you should do some jokes in Farsi. And I'd be like, well, if you pay attention, there's a mixed audience. You know, you can't. And then they'd be like, Maz, this is America. They should learn to speak Farsi. I'm like, that's not right. But what's cool though is I've noticed more and more recently, it has become more and more of a mix. So it's cool. Like you got your Persians, you got some Arabs, then you got some Indians, you got some Pakistanis, you got some black people, you got some white people, some Asians, and it's great. And I prefer an international crowd, and I've been getting that, which has been cool for me. Because again, I think, end of the day, you realize we have so much in common. And people, as long as you're in tune, and if I talk about anything that's been on the news, I try to make sure I explain it so people are on board with it. You know, I don't just assume that everyone saw the guy that was doing
Hey, you even did that tonight. That was good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just make sure, you know, so I think people, I hope people enjoy it, you know, and I think you'll enjoy it if you listen to it. It's
You said something about international. I want to ask you this real quick. So you speak English, obviously.
Yeah.
You speak Farsi as well?
Yeah.
And you speak Italian?
Yeah.
Any more?
Well, no, those are the three main languages I speak. I speak Italian because I took it in college, and then I studied abroad for a year. And then I actually now I kind of speak a little bit of Spanish because we have a Guatemalan nanny. Oh. And I just took my Italian and I Spanishize it.
And it worked.
It worked. It's crazy because what'll happen is I'll start out with the. So I start out, and if they speak back like slowly, I understand.
Okay.
And I actually do a bit on stage where I go. You know, I go, the key is if you speak a language, like a few words in a language, don't do it with a good accent. Because it's true. Like when I'm there, I'm like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Todo bien, todo bien. Todo bien, todo bien means everything good, everything good. Todo bien, todo bien. And I'm like, todo bien, todo bien. So as long as they say todo bien, as long as everything is good, life goes on.
Right.
But whenever life is not good, if they go, no todo bien, and they start busting out with that shit, I'm like, burrito, adios. You know? So...
It's so true though, like, because I work in a restaurant, and when I have to say my name every time I introduce myself, and they're like, "Oh, you're Persian," and I'm like, "That's my Persian impression." And I'm like, "No, just half," and they're like, if I have to say that because they will just start speaking Farsi to me, and I only know a few words, and I've learned the hard way not to tell them which words I know because depending on the group, they can take it the wrong way. Like,
you know the cuss words.
No, I don't.
Oh.
No. There was I had one group of older men, like late 40s, early 50s, and they were like, "Oh, what words do you know in Farsi?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, kesofat," which is like...
Kesofat means dirty.
Yeah, and then there's one that I learned a lot.
How dare you use that word in front of us? That is... you will be executed. Cut their head off. I just said dirty.
Well, because it's like words that I learned when I was a kid, meaning, or I heard a lot. Yeah. And the one that I heard a lot was kotak. Because that means slap.
Like kotak is like a
dirty slap. So how do you say dirty slap?
Dirty. Kotak kesofat.
Kotak kesofat.
And then the guys were just like, "Oh, kotak. Ooh.
Oh no, they went that way.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm gonna go get your drinks.
He's thinking you want to spank him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, that's not where I was going. I was a kid. But anyways,
I don't think that would happen. I think that just...
I've learned just to be careful with who I tell that I know some Spanish, or not Spanish, Farsi, you know.
Yeah. No, you just happen to have a group of like
perverted,
the child molester person over there. They're like, "Oh, kotak. Oh, man."
Well, okay, so then for our listeners and for us, can you teach us how to say in Farsi that everything is good? Kind of like todo bien, the equivalent.
You know, in Farsi, you would say, like, first of all, to say how are you, would say chetori. Chetori means how are you.
Okay.
Chetori. And then I'm trying to think of a way to say it that's not hard, because khubam means I'm good. That's going to be hard for you. Don't even go there.
Okay.
Yeah, you see. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, but you got to get the khe in there, right? Chetori, you could say chetori, khubam, bad nistam. That means I'm not bad. I'm trying to think. Chetori.
I feel like I could get that.
Khubam.
I feel like I get that.
Yeah. Or you can say, you know, another way, another good thing to say is you could say, here's a good way. You say chetori guzu. Guzu means guzu is fart. you can't forget that. Next time you fart, just go, "I'm sorry, I just goozed." Listen, my little 2-year-old, my little funniest thing, my 2-year-old today. We're trying to get my 2-year-old not to use bathroom words, and she keeps for a 2-year-old just saying poop is funny. Yeah, she's like, "Daddy, poop!" And she goes, "Daddy, I farted!" And I go, "Honey," and it is kind of funny, but I go, "Honey, you need to stop." I go, you know, because at home it's fine, but if she's gonna go to school, be like poop, fart all. So I go, "Babe, you gotta stop saying fart." She goes, "Okay." She goes, "Can I say goose? Goose is funny." I go, "You know what? Goose is funny." You're right. So that's a good word, right? Goose. So Chetori Guzu is like, what's up, farty? You know.
You gonna get us some fights now.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Remember Goose. Goose is the one.
Goose. On that note, guys,
The
Goose.
next time you see the Persians, they go,
Yeah.
where's you get Goose? They go,
Yeah.
Goose. The guys and the chicks who farts. Oh, Goose.
She knows spank and fart
Yeah.
and dirty.
Goose for you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you. know,
you.
I just wanted to say real quick, I have your shirt, Persian like the cat.
Look
Meow.
at you, girl.
It was for your
that's me.
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Bestwood. That's the
yeah.
character right there.
Yes.
Me playing Jimmy Bestwood. Comes out next year.
Bestwood.
Are you guys do Twitter? I'm at Maz Jobrani on Twitter. At Maz Jobrani. Hit me up.
Sweet. And where can we find you guys?
Stephaune, where can we find you, sir?
I am at I am more fire. I am more fire. Find me. Holla.
I'm at Danny Hoyt. DANNYHOYT.
Perfect. And guys, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Roya. And this was an AfterBuzz SNL. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, Maz, for being
You
here,
should
man.
be at Kotak.
Guzu.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.